Meet the founder of etúHOME, the Euro-inspired decor. Stacy Borocz has a knack for turning the old into something undeniably fresh. Inspired by European flea markets and time-worn materials, she launched etúHOME at the intersection of sustainability and sophistication. Her secrets? Reclaimed wood, recycled glass, and an admitted obsession with detail. Here, Stacy dishes on her personal journey, her creative process, and why the best design always has a story. Tell me about your younger years. How did your love for curating and home design flourish? I was born in New York City, but grew up in North Carolina and went to college in Georgia. So I'm really a Southern girl at heart. My mother was a furniture designer in Manhattan, and my uncle was an art dealer in Palm Beach, so I lived against the backdrop of each world and was equally fascinated by both. What inspired you to establish etúHOME? In the early 2000s, my husband was transferred to Budapest, Hungary for his job. We moved there with our family a few years later, and I immediately fell in love. Hungary, along with most of Eastern Europe, had been under communist rule for over 50 years, and they were just opening up to the West. It was a fascinating time to see it emerge and evolve. There were many treasures to uncover. As an expat and not working for the first time in my life, I was certain there was something happening here, thus the creation of Europe to You. How has etúHOME evolved since its inception? That's such a lovely question for me to answer, because the way we started is still very significant to our core values, which were in found product and authentic antiques. As we grew, it became nearly impossible to source enough product, so we worked diligently with craftsmen and artisans to recreate original silhouettes. We still follow this practice today, as everything we recreate is inspired by an authentic original. We may adjust the size or structure slightly to accommodate the American market, but we always stay true to the classic roots and utilitarian function of the original piece. Could you elaborate on your commitment to sustainability and fair artisan wages? Our workers are paid a fair living wage. It's part of the EU code and critical to us as we expand our reach globally. We work with reclaimed beams and always utilize sustainably sourced wood whenever possible. Our potters and artisans are people we have worked with for decades. I know and love their stories and children firsthand, and all of this is woven into the core of our brand community. What's a common misconception people have about owning a homeware brand? Often people think you have to be in the know and part of every industry trend, or you're irrelevant. I don't believe that, and our brand is not built that way. At etúHOME, we're faithful to one thought process and stay true to that plan only. Classically rooted European concepts updated for the modern home. Simple, basic, and sensible, but more importantly, intentional, generational, and timeless. What's something people are surprised to learn about you? I suppose it's my incessant attention to detail. I see everything. I may not let on right away, or I may save my thoughts and comments for another time, but if you think it got past me, it likely did not. Is there a current design trend, or something you've noticed lately that you love? Yes, I'm a big fan of the recent scallop tennis core trend, but not because it's a current trend. I am a fan because it is deeply rooted in classic European design. The scallop motif dates back to 18th century European architecture, and its origin is reminiscent of 16th century Moorish buildings. Its classic roots are profound and in plain sight throughout the continent, adorning archways, embellishing furniture, woven into fabrics, and painted on tiles. Once you start looking, you will see it everywhere. Are there more brick-and-mortar stores coming, or are you mainly focused online? At the moment, we sell online directly to consumers, and we have one fantastic flagship store in Charleston, SC. It's uniquely curated and one of those places you just want to linger longer in, as you don't know what you might find there if you do. It's a warm European kitchen of sorts, brimming with what we believe to be the best of Europe. Besides our branded etúHOME product, it boasts treasured finds such as premium Italian olive oil, the tastiest Portuguese sardines, the finest Belgian linen napkins, and the most whimsical ceramic guinea fowls, hand-painted in France. It's a love for me, but I'm partial to Charleston. For now, it is our only brick and mortar, while the best of the brand is available online. Where can we find you on your days off? During COVID, we were fortunate enough to find a lovely house on Lake Oconee overlooking a nature reserve. I love being there, particularly with my family. The moment I arrive, the world seems stiller, the day seems lighter, and I find the pause the water offers resets me. I believe resetting is an important part of the creative process. What's the best advice you've received, and from whom? The best advice I ever received was from my boss at WH Smith, the British high street retailer.
I had just been promoted to merchandise manager and was responsible for millions of open-to-buy dollars. I had to make these huge purchasing decisions overseas, all by myself, and to top it off, I was quite young. He told me, "Stacy, you already know the answer." And he was right, my gut knew. I just needed to find the conviction to follow it, and most importantly, to stick with it. Aside from faith, family, and friends, name 3 things you can't live without. First, my Hermes wool wrap scarf. It was one of those big think purchases, but it's such a classic. I live in it and can't get on a plane without it. Second, my bullet journals. I have loads of them, and they serve as my calendar, to-do list, inspiration place, and product sketch, locale. They are my everything. Finally, I know you said besides family, but I have to include my 6 grandchildren. They are my loves and my life. Lightning round. Bucket list vacation destination? I'm thinking Japan, Laos, and Cambodia. Recent book or podcast you loved? I just read and reread the 2-part Sisi series by Alison Pataki. She was known as the Queen of Hungary during the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So inspiring for women and ahead of her time. Favorite hidden gem in the ATL area? A little restaurant in Sandy Springs called Nam. The stir-fried green beans are a must. Go-to birthday present to give? Any etúHOME classic woodboard. About the author. Zoe Yarborough. Zoe is a StyleBlueprint staff writer, Charlotte native, Washington and Lee graduate, and Nashville transplant of 11 years. She teaches Pilates, helps manage recording artists, and likes to research Germantown's food scene.